Stay ready. This week wears the mask of normalcy, but don't be fooled. It's the calm before a cosmic pivot. Today marks the beginning of a shift that won't rewind. This isn't just another stretch of days. It's subtle, quiet. Even the new moon arriving on the 27th seems to tiptoe in. From the outside, everything looks still, and that's exactly why it will catch many off guard. This moon isn't here to reset, it's here to reroute, and it won't ask for permission. Its power isn't in volume, it's in silence. It's watching, waiting, rearranging. While the world sleeps on the surface, deep shifts are already in motion. If something just ended in your life, or a plan unexpectedly unraveled, don't dismiss it. That might have been the moon clearing the stage for what's truly meant to arrive. If that hits home, feel free to speak it into the universe. And if you're ready to anchor in the shift, drop a 111 with your reflection. The portal is open. I know there's one last trick this moon is hiding that almost nobody sees coming. It won't hit until the very end of the month, but when it does, it'll shift everything. I'll explain exactly what it is at the end, so keep watching, because it's the kind of twist that catches you when you least expect it. But first, there's something more important right now. Some of us have been feeling isolated lately, and it's not random. But that's about to change. You were pulled away from the world for a reason. Now the reason is shifting. Whether you noticed it or not, the past year, maybe even longer, has felt like a forced retreat. Less connection, more solitude. Maybe people drifted. Maybe you stopped reaching out. Maybe you just didn't feel like being out there anymore. That wasn't random. That was a spiritual quarantine. You were being held back from certain frequencies, detoxed from noise, protected from patterns that no longer belonged to you. But now, something's breaking open. This week, the moon starts peeling back that energetic layer. Not with a bang, not all at once, but with subtle, powerful invitations, a message, a pull, a reason to show up again. You might start feeling the urge to speak up, to reconnect, to return. Even if you're scared, even if you've changed, that's the point. The isolation wasn't punishment, it was preparation. Watch your cravings. Not everything that glows is good for your soul. Tomorrow, May 24th, the moon kisses Venus in the sky, a conjunction that looks innocent, soft, maybe even romantic. But don't be fooled. This is not gentle energy. And if you're not paying attention, it could even be dangerous. This isn't love, it's longing. It's that aching pull towards someone or something you can't stop thinking about. That magnetic connection that feels fated, even if you know it might lead you somewhere you're not meant to stay. And here's the twist. That person, that craving, that obsession, it's not about them. It's never about them. It's a frequency, an energetic mirror, designed to tempt you, to wake you, to teach you. You might find yourself pulled into a dynamic that's intoxicating but unstable. Someone might reappear, or maybe you start fantasizing about a version of love you haven't felt in a long time. But the moon doesn't align with Venus to hand you what you want. It aligns to expose what you need. Ask yourself, what am I really chasing? Is it love, or is it escape? Is it connection, or is it control? Because this isn't just about romance. This can manifest as old habits, obsessions, or even cravings that come out of nowhere. Don't confuse magnetism with alignment. Some things pull you in just to show you what to walk away from. This is one of those moments where the universe whispers, "Are you still falling for the same illusion?" And just when you think you've figured out the pattern, the moon starts moving closer. You're not being haunted by your past. You're being claimed by your future. Right after that Venus entanglement, the moon starts inching toward Earth. On the 25th, she hits perihelion, closest to the sun. On the 26th, she reaches perigee, closest to us. That's not just astronomy, that's a gravitational message. The moon is getting personal, very personal. Have you been feeling like emotions are thicker lately? like you're not just thinking your memories but reliving them. That's not just you being sensitive. That's lunar gravity tightening around your soul. This week, your emotional body is being anchored, pulled into the now. Not because everything's falling apart, but because you can't keep floating above what's real anymore. You may notice it in small, subtle ways. A song hits too hard. An old photo sends you spiraling. You feel heavier when you wake up. Not tired, just weighty. That's the moon's way of saying, feel it. Not to drown you in emotion, but to bring you back into embodiment. And here's the twist. The closer she gets, the more she exposes. Old emotions, unfinished patterns, feelings you thought were gone but were just buried. The moon doesn't pull you down, she pulls you in. This week isn't about letting go, it's about letting through. Because if you keep running from what the moon is trying to show you, she'll only keep chasing you. And the next time she gets this close, you'll already be someone else entirely. This isn't manifestation, it's a declaration. Be clear, or get lost in the fog. May 27th brings a new moon. But this isn't the typical kind of fresh start people like to romanticize. It doesn't feel lush or fertile. It doesn't burst with clarity or momentum. Instead, it feels hollow, like walking into a room that's been cleared out just hours before you arrived. And yet that emptiness is the whole point. This is a new moon sitting in a strange, energetic pocket. Just behind it, the moon's intense approach to Earth. Just ahead, it's meeting with Jupiter, the planet of expansion and revelation. Caught in the middle is you, somewhere between pressure and potential, craving direction but staring at a blank page that refuses to tell you what to write. Here's the truth. This new moon isn't meant to give you answers. It's here to create space so the real questions can finally echo loud enough to hear. It's not a moment to manifest in the fluffy, idealistic sense. This is the kind of lunar moment that demands clarity, not fantasy. If you choose to write your intentions now, treat them as contracts. Choose your words as if you're chiseling them into stone. Because this moon isn't listening to vague wishes, it's scanning your energy for what you're ready to commit to. There's something eerie about the stillness of this new moon. You might feel like you're in limbo, but that quiet is deceptive. It's not the absence of motion, it's the inhaled breath before a shout. And when Jupiter comes in right after, that breath turns into something much, much louder. If you've been drifting, this is the point where you stop floating and start deciding, who are you becoming? What have you outgrown? What do you need to let go of just so something real can take its place? This isn't a blank page, it's a trap door. And the words you choose to write now might decide whether it opens into something higher or drops you deeper into the maze. Not all expansion is abundance. Sometimes it's just the pressure building until you finally burst. On May 28th, the moon conjuncts Jupiter, and the energetic contrast is immediate. Yesterday's stillness becomes today's eruption. Jupiter doesn't arrive quietly. It doesn't tap you on the shoulder and whisper a lesson. It kicks the door down and forces you to feel what you've been dodging. Wherever you've been muted, you might suddenly speak. Wherever you've been small, you might feel the urge to expand. And if you've been bottling up emotions, don't be surprised if they rush to the surface now, raw, real, and unstoppable. This is a moment of spontaneous truth. That thing you've been trying not to say, that realization you didn't want to admit. Jupiter amplifies whatever you've been sitting on, and the moon turns it into something emotional, something visceral. You might feel a rush of clarity, but it could be uncomfortable clarity. You might feel excited or overwhelmed, maybe both at once. And here's where it gets tricky. Expansion sounds nice, right? But not all growth feels good. Sometimes the universe makes your discomfort bigger on purpose, not to punish you, but to finally make it unavoidable. This is the final planetary push before June begins reshuffling timelines and rewriting paths. If the last few weeks have felt like spiritual boot camp, this is your graduation or your breakdown, maybe even both, and watch out for the temptation to escape. Jupiter rules excess. It wants more, more, more. So you might find yourself reaching for distractions, indulgences, or impulsive decisions. Be aware of what you're running toward and what you're running from. Jupiter doesn't just show you the truth, it magnifies it until you can't ignore it anymore. If your reality suddenly feels too loud, it's because you're finally hearing what's been echoing under the surface for a long time. You're not dizzy, you're being drained. Between May 25th and 27th, the moon doesn't just move through the sky, it moves through you. It hits perihelion on the 25th, perigee on the 26th, and resets at the new moon on the 27th. To most people, these are just cold astronomical coordinates. But to the sensitive, the intuitive, the energetically tuned in, this 3-day window feels like psychic pressure being wrung out of the soul. Think of it like this. The moon is squeezing closer to both Earth and Sun, like a cosmic vice. And what happens when something squeezes? What's inside comes out. These aren't just moon events. They're an energetic extraction process. During these days, don't be surprised if your body starts acting strange. People report sudden waves of dehydration even when they've been drinking. Plenty of water, vertigo, disorientation, that weird floating while grounded feeling. Ringing in the ears that comes and goes like static, tuning in and out of a forgotten frequency. And then there's the sleep, or lack of it. Waking up at 3:33 a.m. with no reason, feeling like something is watching, or like something is trying to speak through you. These aren't random glitches, they're reactions to the energetic compression happening all around you. What makes this stretch so intense is that it's not just pulling from you, it's pulling from your lineage, your fears, your subconscious attachments. Things you thought were buried, but were really just sitting under the skin of your energetic field. This is the moon functioning like a spiritual sponge, soaking up the old, the forgotten, the unresolved, and wringing it out through your body, your moods, your reactions. This isn't illness, it's energetic detox. It's like your system is rejecting anything you can't take with you into the next chapter, and it's using your physical form to do it. If you're feeling off, don't panic, but do pay attention. You're not being punished, you're being purged. And right when you think the pressure is easing, that's when the emotional plot twists start. Your soul may stay the same, but your compass is recalibrating. This week, something strange happens. People backpedal. Decisions dissolve. You might feel sure about one thing in the morning, then completely reverse course by sunset. Don't fight it. This is the chaos of emotional realignment. Call it spiritual reversal syndrome. It happens when energy moves too fast for logic to keep up. The moon is shifting rapidly, and it's been under pressure from multiple sides, solar, planetary, even ancestral. So what happens? Emotional instincts, your gut feelings, start flipping. That person you were obsessed with last week, suddenly they seem dull, distant, or energetically off. That thing you swore you didn't want, now it's all you can think about. You might ghost someone unexpectedly, or finally respond to a message you left unanswered for weeks. You may even feel like a different version of yourself is steering the... Because in some ways, that's exactly what's happening. Energetic recalibration rewires your inner compass, not because you're flaky, but because your soul's priorities are realigning. And they're doing it faster than your conscious mind can rationalize. This week, don't trust surface-level impulses. What you feel isn't always what's true. Instead of acting on your instincts, observe them. What's the pattern behind the pull? What does your reversal say about the old version of you that made the original decision? Reversals aren't betrayals, they're updates. And this doesn't just apply to you, it applies to others around you too. So if people flake, change, backtrack, or surprise you, don't take it personally. Everyone's tuning their frequencies in real time. Everyone's trying to hear their own signal through the static. This is a week of recalibration. Let yourself reorient. Just don't rush to lock anything in, because what feels true now may evolve again before the week is even over. This week, as the new moon unfurls its strange quiet and folds itself into the gravitational pull of Venus and Jupiter, something begins to stir, not just in the stars, but deep in the psyche. And you might not notice it during the day, but at night, everything opens. Your unconscious doesn't whisper this week, it broadcasts. And it uses your dreams to deliver messages that aren't just symbolic, they're catalytic. A lot of people are already reporting nightmares, lucid sequences, or bizarre fragments that stick in their minds hours after waking. And while the instinct might be to shake them off or look up quick interpretations online, don't. This is not the kind of dreaming you're used to. These dreams aren't warnings to run from. They're spiritual invitations. You're being dared to accept. That creature chasing you through a hallway that never ends. It's not hunting you. It's hurting you. That recurring image of drowning, falling, being locked in. It's showing you where your resistance lives. The monsters this week aren't evil. They're messengers wearing masks. They're your buried selves, knocking from the inside saying, "You're ready for this now." When the unconscious becomes the loudest voice in the room, you better stop pretending you can't hear it. Don't be surprised if your dreams this week feel more vivid, more tactile, like you wake up with emotional residue stuck to your skin. Don't be surprised if you dream about people you haven't seen in years, or places you've never been but somehow recognize. It's because the new moon, coupled with the vibrational influence of Jupiter and Venus, is opening a wormhole in your psyche, connecting old soul threads to your current timeline. You're not dreaming just for the sake of processing. You're dreaming to be rerouted. Some of the guidance you're waiting for won't come through signs or synchronicities. It'll come through shadow, through the places you've been too scared to look. So pay attention and don't dismiss anything just because it's weird, dark, or hard to explain. This week your subconscious is not playing games. It's giving instructions, coded in symbol, wrapped in metaphor, and delivered when your defenses are down. The darkness in your dreams is not your enemy. It's your initiation. People don't go distant when they're done with you. They go distant when something inside them starts screaming louder than your voice. This week, the emotional weather isn't just internal. It leaks. It moves through people, spills into relationships, and rearranges dynamics you thought were solid. Don't be surprised if your group chats go quiet. If your most reliable friend suddenly pulls back. If someone sends you an emotional paragraph out of nowhere. Or worse, nothing at all. This is what it looks like when the moon messes with frequency. Right now, people are under energetic pressure they don't fully understand. Their emotional bandwidth is fried. And that means they act weird. Not because they're fake, flaky, or over you, but because something inside them is recalibrating too fast for their identity to catch up. That friend who suddenly overshares after months of being chill. They're leaking. That ex who randomly watches your story after a year of silence. They're pinging your field. The person who disappears mid-conversation. They're overloaded, not uninterested. Strange behavior isn't always a betrayal. It's often just unprocessed evolution. Think of this like a mass psychic update running in the background of everyone's operating system. The closer we get to June, the more things scramble, because the current energies are trying to shove people out of outdated emotional loops. That makes humans glitch. They cancel plans with no reason. They reconnect awkwardly. They ghost, resurface, confess things, contradict themselves. It's not personal. It's planetary. But here's the thing, just because it's universal doesn't mean you should ignore it. This is the week to watch closely, not to react, but to understand. See who cracks under the pressure. See who reveals more than they intended. See who disappears and doesn't come back, and who tries in their messy way to stay close anyway. This isn't the week to force clarity from others. It's the week to observe their chaos and let it tell you what they've been too afraid to say. The moon doesn't just reflect, it plots. Remember at the very beginning when I said the moon had one last trick up its sleeve? This is it. the part no one's expecting, the piece that doesn't look important until it flips the entire pattern on its head. Between May 28th and 30th, something subtle is going to slip through the cracks. Not loud, not chaotic, just off. Like a moment that seems too perfectly timed to be random, a message you almost delete, a dream that feels like a memory, a silence that says more than any words could. That's the moment, that's the shift. You won't recognize the twist until you realize it was always there, hiding inside the quiet. The truth is, the moon has been moving like a quiet architect all month. Every emotional shift, every odd encounter, every high and low, it's all been construction, laying energetic scaffolding, redirecting your attention, whispering, "Not yet, not here, keep going." And now, in these final days of May, the curtain starts to lift. The strange pull you felt, the weird tension under the surface. It's not paranoia, it's prophecy. This is the moon's reveal, not explosive, but surgical. A small pivot that redirects everything. Watch for it. An odd conversation, a decision that feels bigger than it should. A coincidence too precise to be coincidence. You may want to write down your dreams these nights, even if they make no sense. Revisit an old note, a text from early May, or a journal entry you forgot you wrote. There's a thread there, a map hidden in memory, something you missed before, and that something is the exact key that unlocks June. What you ignored before is the key to what comes next. This final trick isn't just a twist, it's the reveal that makes the whole story click. So don't rush past it. Don't assume the end of the month means the end of meaning. The moon doesn't close chapters with a bang, it seals them with a whisper. And just when you think you figured it all out, it leaves one last message tucked beneath the surface, waiting for the ones who are still paying attention. So here's your final mission before June begins. Stay alert. Don't rush to label what happens next. The meaning might not arrive until days later, like a puzzle piece that only fits once the rest of the picture is built. Because May isn't ending, it's handing you the code. And June, that's when you finally get. The future rarely makes a grand entrance. Sometimes it quietly unfolds while we're looking the other way. If you're still here, thank you. Your presence means a lot. If this content resonated with you and you'd like to see more, hit that subscribe button. Your support truly helps. I'd love to hear your thoughts or experiences. Feel free to share them in the comments below. Until we meet again, take care, and don't forget to subscribe for more meaningful insights.